everybody. This is a Richi Meko Connection exclusive. I'm Gabriel Richi, and I'm actually here with wrestling aficionado Sebastian Pierre Louis. Of course, you remember him from one of the last episodes of Season 1, where we ranked our top 5 wrestlers. He's back. We're going to talk about a historic night in wrestling last night, AEW All Out 2021. Just really a magical night. We're going to go over it top to bottom. Won't be too long today, but we should jump right into it.
Yes.
Your initial thoughts?
Easily a top 5 pay-per-view. Not just for AEW, but at least in the past 10 years. It's up there.
I would say the same. It's definitely like, and I was saying, like, I don't know if it's like match quality, maybe not. I'm sure like there's stuff we haven't seen. There's probably some New Japan pay-per-views from the past. There's probably been some manias that aren't coming to mind right now. But in terms of importance, definitely of the past 10 years, going back to maybe Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30, that was a very important moment for wrestling. Probably since then, this is the most important pay-per-view I have seen.
Super important.
In terms of, you want to talk about the Forbidden Door, just all the debuts last night and returns and everything. It was just insane. I've been saying lately, like, their roster is really, like, at the beginning, it was cool that it was these guys who made their own thing in 2019, and it was cool that they got Jericho. But now when you look at the roster and you look at the names that these guys have made for themselves, not only in AEW and not the guys that they got from WWE, like those guys, the names they've gotten who are self-made, who aren't products of WWE, where the criticism, I'm kind of rambling right now, but the criticism that someone, oh, you're getting excited for this guy who's just in WWE. It's like, no, this guy was a big deal before WWE. And he was a big deal, and WWE didn't use him right, and that's why he's leaving. That's the case with most of the guys who come from there over to AEW. Anyways, last night was basically just a representation of what AEW is, and I think they knew with CM Punk that a million people are going to be watching this.
Right.
Like, they're going to have this is going to be their biggest audience yet, and they were like, let's deliver, and they definitely did.
They did deliver. This was, if I have to think of pay-per-views, I actually haven't really thought about this list, but if I think of the best pay-per-views in the past decade, 2 easily come to mind, and it's WrestleMania 35 with the Kofi Mania stuff, and then this one.
The night they gave us everything we wanted.
Yeah. Every pay-per-view that made the fans happy.
I know.
Pretty much.
All right, so that match quality, I'll say 35 might have this beat overall. But again, with the returns and everything, this was better. And this probably had the best match out of all of them, which is the tag match. The Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks. Where I told my cousin last night, I watched it with my cousin. I was like, they're going to have what I thought, QT Marshall and Paul White. They're going to have some low... This is why they have these matches on the card. The QT
Sleepers.
Marshalls, the Casino Battle Royals, they have those so that you can take a breath after the insane matches that they'll have every now and then. Which this was... It's still not my favorite AEW tag match. That Revolution match from 2020 is still my favorite.
Wow.
But this was like the most climactic and insane. And it was really emotional with the fucking Jays with the thumbtacks on the bottom.
Yeah.
And how... I've never seen a lucha match where their masks are just ripped apart because of how gory it was. It was just absolutely insane.
You want to go up and down the card?
We can come back. We can circle back to that. You can start from the jump.
All right. So I think you can mostly talk about the Miro match because I haven't seen it. I'm going to watch it probably this afternoon.
You showed up. You started watching a little late.
I already know the results of it. I'm sure it was a great match because Miro is a phenomenal talent. Eddie Kingston is super over. And I would expect a feud to happen with these two after this match. You have Eddie Kingston, again, a great talent, and Miro. There's no way that you put these guys together and you don't keep them going. Especially, I'm hearing last night it was a really good match, so you can take away.
So yeah, it wasn't the best match on the card. However, it was the perfect match to open the night with, where it was really good and it was gonna build up from there. The first half of this card, like the matches were just consistently really good. This one, it took a while for them to get going, but eventually they did, and the entire time the crowd was red hot. And I really do think this was the perfect match to open with. It got really going. They really had you thinking at the end. I thought there's no chance Miro's losing this, and they really got me for a second, thinking it was one of those Roman Reigns Undertaker kickouts that Miro does at near the end of the match, where Eddie Kingston hits him with one of his moves, and yeah, the crowd was red hot.
Our crowd was fantastic.
They played into the story where Miro with the redeem these nuts, and the ref isn't looking. Miro has the ref like in the corner, like he's distracting the ref, and while he's doing that, he behind him. Eddie Kingston's behind him. He kicks him in the nuts, and then it puts him in the accolade. I don't know. Is that what they call it in AEW? Or is it the Redeemer? Is that what it's called?
No, it's called Game Over
Game
in
Over.
AEW.
All right. Anyways, it was a wrap from there.
Yeah.
That match was lit. That's all I really have to say about that match.
Okay. After that, we had, what was the second match after that?
It was
Moxley and
versus Kojima. Yeah.
Okay. Moxley's everybody knows about Moxley, especially if you watched WWE. You know about Dean Ambrose. Good talent. I think he personally, I think he got better after WWE.
For sure.
He was a little stagnant there.
He was kind of in a box there.
Yeah.
When you hear him on podcasts, you realize like the whole the box they had him in.
Yeah.
That he couldn't really be who he is. And when you see him in these interviews and shit, he really is like a wild dude.
Yeah.
So you have to just let him be an accelerated version of what he is in real life, instead of like, oh, I'm wacky. This is my this is my plant Mitch. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah. So you know the deal with Moxley, and then Kojima. If you don't watch any NJPW, old talent. He's been there for a long time. He's been there since the All Japan Pro days.
Yeah.
He was one of the first people to, I think, unify the belts, because he had championships in All Japan
He's
Pro.
hold all the belts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a serious deal.
People are kind of bummed that they sent him over. I kind of, and we mentioned this, that New Japan has this deal, the Forbidden Door, all that, and then they keep sending over like Hikuleo and a guy who isn't what he is yet, and they send a guy who isn't what he used to be. No disrespect to either of them, and whoever the first guy Moxley fought, I can't remember. That was way back. That was actually for the U.S. title.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't a bad match.
Okay, that match was actually good.
Yeah, none of these have been bad matches. It's just like we know what.
It's not the stars.
We know what's over there. So the match was fine. It wasn't about the match though. Suzuki comes out. I had a feeling some guy was coming out, because it was a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
Again, no disrespect to Kojima. A little bit of a letdown
when
you find out that, Moxley's calling out Tanahashi and this and that, and then like they give him this, and then Suzuki comes out, who's basically the Moxley of Japan, I'd say, and a legitimate badass. And Moxley's bleeding, and they do the
the forearms and the chops and whatnot.
And it's just like, this is why they have to have a deal with AEW and not WWE, because you see the way WWE handles Japanese talent.
Right.
And Suzuki would show up. He wouldn't have his theme song. He shows up tonight. He has his theme song. Everybody knows it. Everybody does the chant at the end, and they go at it. And that looked like it hurt a lot. Those elbows, those forearms,
stiff ass forearms.
Yeah, it was a force. Massive pop from me.
Definitely a pop for me. I would say, on the point that you were making with WWE and Japanese talent, it's actually funny how, I don't know if you remember, earlier this year, New Japan was debating between AEW and WWE whether to do a deal with, and you see why New Japan was kind of like, yeah, we're gonna stay with AEW.
Yeah,
it's like the way that they
Do
have
you-
treated their talent
do you-
coming over
yeah.
and introducing to American audience, even though it's not the big mainstream WWE audience, New Japan has a chance to show their talent to a very big pro wrestling audience.
I was
in
just gonna say,
AEW.
so like WWE, it's like, do you really want to even? How much is it worth the extra views? Where a lot of the casual fans just want silliness,
Yeah.
and you know that's why like we grow up on the Undertaker and whatnot and all that, which is great. But eventually, not all of those types of characters hit. Not all of those WWE types of stories hit. Of course, they used to, and they sometimes still do. There's still some good stuff there, even though it looks like it's going down. And we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
How like they are fucked at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
Last night was a shift for sure.
this is why though. Like you show up and Suzuki is treated as a legend, and the pop is massive. Where
Right.
in WWE,
He definitely wasn't gonna get
in
that.
WWE, there'd be like 500 people in the crowd who would know who he is.
Right.
Where
At least.
when you come to an AEW show, everybody's gonna know who he is.
Right. As far as the match goes, I thought it was solid.
It was solid.
I don't have
It was
I have a
solid
problem
match.
with Kojima. I
miss
never had
the-
a problem with Moxley.
I'll
so-
say I miss the olds.
Oh,
Dirty deeds,
the
where he just hits them. I don't need the whole boom. It was
Yeah.
cool the first couple times he did it. Like he would do it to Kenny, and Kenny would sell the shit out of it, and it would be on some like fucking hardwood or something.
they
But
were going crazy.
but now it's just like they. It's just like I don't know. It's not what it
It's
used to
like-
be. It's like he changed the move completely.
It's a regular like underhook DDT. now.
Yeah.
Like it's just like
It doesn't look as devastating as like the way how fast and powerful he would hit somebody with the dirty deeds.
yeah.
And how it would just come out of nowhere. Where now it's like he hooks them, and it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's a whole process to do it. Anyways, yeah,
I don't know why
solid
he
match.
changed it.
Yeah, solid match. But obviously, it wasn't about the match. It was about the post match.
Yeah, the post match was the great part of it. Minoru Suzuki showing up was incredible. I did not expect
Doesn't look like this is in order.
no, it's not in order.
Yeah.
So we kind of have to
It's fine.
go
I
from
kind of
there.
remember. I think the next match was the women's match.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, and
Yeah,
that
it
was
was.
fantastic.
That
It was start to finish. That was a great women's match. Those are two of the best in AEW as far as the women
Yeah.
go.
Britt Baker and Chris Statlander.
And the crowd is red hot. The crowd loves Britt Baker, and Chris Statlander is also one of the more over women in the company.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I was saying to you earlier, I think it was like a month ago, before Chris Statlander got hurt, like they were positioning her to have the championship, and her getting injured kind of made it easier for Britt Baker to kind of take that position. Because she was red hot before that massive injury that she got. Like people were going crazy over Chris Statlander, and it was actually lucky. It was a lucky break for Chris Statlander when she got hurt, because that was like around the time the pandemic started, and AEW had to do those
Yeah.
like no crowd shows and stuff. So she was gone the whole time. But before that, man, they were getting ready to put that title on.
And really unbelievable in the ring. That was. I know we still hold the Thunder Rosa match in higher regard. Of course, they had all the weapons and shit, and Thunder Rosa's great in the ring too. But Chris Statlander, in terms of like technical wrestling and shit, she's top tier for women.
She's
man.
just
She
a
was
big,
awesome.
powerful woman.
Yeah,
Like,
that too. Like she's a being. She's statuesque.
like last night when they were doing the superplex
Yeah.
off the top, and then like she almost messed up because like Britt was kind of off balance, and she literally like used all upper body strength
she's
to
jacked.
get her in position while they're up on the turnbuckles and hit a decent superplex.
In the ending, they show her respect. Like Britt Baker literally needs to pull out everything to beat
Yeah.
her. Where it's like, oh, she kicks out of this. Let me do this, this, and this, and then puts her in the lockjaw.
Yeah. That was incredible. I would love to see Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander again down the line, with Chris Statlander hopefully winning that title that
someday.
she was positioned for. But it's Britt Baker's run. It's early in, and AEW, I've started noticing a trend, at least over the past 2 years. They like long title reigns and make sure that the title reigns, you get the most out of it before you transition to the next
North
guy
American pro
or woman.
wrestling fans are so used to, Charlotte has the title, then Sasha has the title, then Charlotte, and
Yeah, that hot
like,
potato stuff.
It's like, nah, man.
Yeah, no, you need meaningful title
Mm-hmm.
reigns.
Right. Unless it's like, okay, there's a legitimate reason why we're going to drop this, or you're ready for this long title reign. It's like, they're not going to have somebody drop the title.
Yeah, no. But that was a good match.
Yeah, we can move on.
Next one, I
Was it the
think was CM
when?
Punk.
No, that was after. CM Punk
Oh
was,
yeah, you're right. It
CM
was
Punk was, I think it's the tag match.
it was the tag match.
Oh, man.
Oh,
So,
my
match of the
God.
night. Obviously, match of the night.
It wasn't fair.
I feel like everybody had a feeling this would be match of the night because these guys never miss. The Bucks never really have
Yeah,
a bad match.
Yeah, no.
Especially on a pay-per-view, and the Lucha Brothers definitely never really have.
Well, there was one match from them that we
Oh.
personally thought was whatever.
Oh, the FTR match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Right.
everybody
Fair.
still loves that one.
Yeah, everybody loves that one, but
They could have did better.
these two together,
These teams.
they just make magic.
like remember that first
ladder
big
match?
event? Yeah.
Yeah.
That AEW did in
They
that ladder
referenced
match.
that last night, 2019.
That match was incredible. We fucking lost our minds with that match.
That was probably the best tag match of that year.
Yeah. For sure.
This match, I felt like took a little time to get going. Like at the beginning, I feel like the moves were hitting, but there was no psychology yet, and I knew there was something coming. And when they threw, I feel like the match really gets going when the J with the thumbtacks. When that shoe came into the mix, that's when the emotion started. And Penta jumping in front of Phoenix like, no, take me instead. And I was like, this is all setting up for a major Rey Fenix comeback, which is like one of the best things in wrestling.
Right.
Because he's a force. I'll let you.
The Jays with the thumbtacks is ridiculous. I've never seen
innovative.
I've never seen some shit like
Yeah,
that.
it was so cool because they always wear J's and they're the super kick guys. So like,
Now I'm gonna super kick you with fucking like.
yeah, it was just wrestling like carny genius though. It was like that is like super.
Yeah.
I would never think of that myself.
Yeah, no way. Of course, Brandon Cutler. Even though this is a steel cage,
He found a way to.
had a nice fucking Tom Brady-esque throw straight into the steel cage.
All right, yeah. So I said that. Props to him that he did that on one try. Because I thought, oh, Brandon Cutler, this is going to be like 3 tries and the crowd's going to be laughing and everything. He hit it in one try. That was super. Props to him.
Although that would have been funny if they did that.
I thought that's what they were going to do. But he just got it in one try, and that was pretty gory. I've never seen Lucha's mask just get ripped apart.
Yeah.
But stay on at the same time where it's like, it's still not like, oh, their mask fell off. Why are they even wearing masks in the first place? Like, they were ripped perfectly where it's like, I still
It
don't
almost
know
looked
who
like
you
some
are.
fucking like comic book shit.
Exactly. Like
when a superhero
Spider-Man when he gets his
yeah.
mask ripped apart.
Like just fucked
yeah,
up.
exactly.
Yeah, dude, that match easily, it's got to be 5 stars.
It was a 5-star match for sure.
That was a 5-star match.
You said that was the best tag cage match you've ever
That's
seen?
the best. Like,
Cage
it's one of the
match,
best cage matches. Because cage
There's
matches.
been some really good ones, but yeah.
There's been good ones.
Are we counting Hell in the Cell when you say that?
No.
Okay.
Just the standard cage match. Those are usually like, they could be hit or miss. They could be boring. They could be really good. The only other one that comes to my mind is Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose.
People hate that match.
Really?
Yeah, I'm with you though. I like it. That's with Mitch the Plant. I think that's when he
Yeah,
dies.
that was when they were doing that feud there.
What came to mind for me is the Usos versus the New Day in the cage.
In the Hell in a Cell?
Oh, was that Hell in a Cell? I thought that was a cage.
That was
All
Hell
right.
in a Cell.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of cage matches are just like not memorable, but this one,
And it's like escape the cage.
yeah, right.
But this one was like you get the pin in the cage, and I felt like the cage was a little taller for them. I'm not sure if it's just.
AEW's cage is definitely bigger.
It was like skinnier and taller, and there's no room to walk around the outside.
You only
like
on the apron.
Yeah.
I love that shit. They keep the cage tight. It really feels like, all right, there's really no way to get the fuck out of this thing.
I was genuinely scared when they went up top because these dudes are insane, and I know they'll do anything. That was insane when he fell off, when he jumped off the cage. It literally looked like he was flying. It looked like somebody threw a paper airplane off the top of the cage, and like the way he just floated down, because he didn't just go straight. Like I feel like he really got some air, and just hit hits his target perfectly because it's Ray Phoenix.
I
He's the
thought
best high flyer in the business.
I thought Ray Phoenix was gonna do like some fucking like
That would have
450
been.
or some shit off that.
I thought that too, but I was cool with what he did. Cause,
Yeah, I was,
like,
yeah.
the timing of like how often are you jumping from a height something that tall?
Right.
So
yeah.
like the timing in it would take the perfect timing it would take to like hit that is just out of this world. I can't even comprehend it. I'm sure he could, but you only get one try with that. So I'm kind of happy he didn't. I would have been petrified. And also consider that he's that much higher than the ring, but then the ring itself is also like 4 feet off the ground.
Right.
Where he was like 25 feet in the air.
Yeah, easily.
Jeez, like absolutely insane finish.
I know who would have did some crazy shit like that. Ricochet.
Yeah.
He would have easily been like, "Fuck this."
Ricochet, Jeff. Like there are some madmen out there.
Probably Will Ospreay too, low key.
Yeah.
He might. But yeah, dude, this match had everything you needed. Had the story. It had some crazy fucking offense going on pretty much throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Except for the beginning part, you're right. It was a little slow. It was kind of like a spot fest.
Yeah, it was a little clunky. It's like, why are you flipping? It was like the Jim Cornette thing, which I kind of agree with. It's like Ray Phoenix would do a flip and then get kicked in the face. And it's like, your flip isn't adding to the move at all. I'm not talking about flipping onto somebody. I'm talking about I'm going to do a flip and then I'm going to clothesline you. It's why wouldn't you just clothesline him? Shit like that. But I feel like they were just getting their feet wet because they knew they were about to do some nut shit.
That's my only issue with like the Lucha Brothers in general. Ever since the beginning of AEW, I just felt like they don't sell a lot.
Yeah.
They just do a lot of moves.
Right.
Bow, get to the next one.
Right.
Type of deal. And this is one of the rare times where they really told a crazy story.
With the blood and everything. The blood, this is one of those matches where the blood truly added to it.
Yeah, it made that cage feel vicious.
And I'm happy the Lucha Brothers won. I thought the Young Bucks would retain, but I love just like some people overthink with the booking and shit. I love just sending the fans home happy with that one. Like get the massive pop of I feel like that was the biggest pop of the night. Even this might be a hot take, like even more so than like the CM Punk entrance or anything. Like there was some point in that match where the crowd absolutely lost their shit. That's one I'm gonna have to rewatch.
Dude, oh my, just a crazy match in general. If you don't watch AEW or if that was your first time watching AEW last night, like that was something.
Yeah,
that's something to see.
How do you not tune in Wednesday night?
Yeah. Oh my God. What was the match after that?
That was the Casino Battle Royale.
Yeah,
they had to give you a breather. This was fine. Obviously, the Ruby Soho got a big pop.
Yeah.
But it was fine. I felt like it was it didn't need to be as long as it was. But
was it long?
I felt like it was pretty long. I felt like it was like 15 minutes and it could have been like 8. There was some cool shit in it though.
Oh yeah.
Jamie Hayter, is that her name?
Yeah.
She's gonna be a star. That you texted me it and I saw it too. I knew exactly what you're talking about when Red Velvet clapped. It's like,
my God.
Of course, right? Of course, it would be those two who have that great moment in the middle of the ring.
Right.
Sheeta came back, which was cool.
It was cool. She was a little botchy.
Pandemic champ. It's been a minute.
Yeah. I mean, she was on Dark for for a couple months. There was a lot of people that we didn't see for a while that were in that match. Like you saw what's her face? Cedric Alexander's wife.
Is that Big Swole?
Big Swole.
Yeah.
And you saw Emi Sakura and some other people.
Was Riho in it?
Riho was in there.
Yeah, I didn't notice really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sort of in and out. No disrespect to the women, I was sort of like in and out of this one because like this is why there's a reason they put this after that Lucha Brothers match. It's just like I really needed a breather from wrestling if I was gonna get through the rest of the night. Yeah. Because it was a long show. It had to be though.
Yeah.
It really had to be 4 hours. You needed all these matches needed to happen because you could say like, oh, this battle royale doesn't need to happen. It's like, no, you can't put Jericho. You're doing a disservice to like Jericho and MJF if you put them right after the Lucha Brothers match.
Yeah, like, they're not gonna follow that.
It's like Triple H and Shawn Michaels, not Triple H and Shawn, Triple H and Randy Orton at WrestleMania 25 following Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. It's like you're screwed. You're screwed at that point.
Yeah, you don't do that. The Battle Royal, personally, I had fun with. like I said, there was a little clunkiness going on in the beginning because, well, some of those women are kind of green. They still need more time to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, there was enough women in that match to kind of carry the rest of them. Like, I thought Jade Cargill had an amazing performance in the Battle Royal. Thunder Rosa had this sweet Hurricane Rana spot where she, like, jumped over. I forget who she jumped over, but, like, someone was down, and then she, like, jumped on top of them and over, and then, like, Hurricane Run. It was fucking great. And then, like you said, Jamie Hayter had a good performance. Red Velvet is always good.
Yeah.
I've been Team Red Velvet since the beginning. She's going to be a star. She needs more time, but
Yeah.
she's perfect where she is. Like, there's a lot of good women. I felt like the Battle Royal showcased that perfectly. As far as the winner goes, I'm a little iffy on it. I'm proud of Ruby Soho. She's went through a lot of BS, especially where she was in WWE. She should have been bigger. Than they presented her as. When she was Heidi Loveless on the Indies, she was super, super over. They brought her to NXT. She had a pretty decent career in NXT. And then when they called her to the main roster, it was over. Everything was over, and she just didn't hit her stride. She was always jobbing, getting beat by somebody, stuff like that. And now I feel like she's in a place where she needs to be. I didn't expect AEW to bring in a big star and immediately just, like,
Put her at the top.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't. She's not gonna beat Britt Baker. Like, Britt Baker's like the most over woman in the world right now. I don't
Yeah, I
see
don't
them
think she
taking the
will.
belt off. It's just kind of like, let's put you in a big program when you come in, just to let people know you're a big deal. Kinda
Yeah,
like,
probably, yeah.
they didn't do this for you over there. Well, we're gonna do this for you here. And there's no woman that really comes to mind. Like you said, Red Velvet. It's like, a lot of these women are good, but they're not ready yet.
I would have liked. Well, you already knew my options last night. I said I think it's gonna be Ty Conti or Anna Jay, simply because both of them are over as hell.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of promo wise, I feel Anna Jay is definitely better than Ty Conti in that department. So I would have rather went with her.
I think it's gonna be Jade Cargill. I think that's the next.
That was
I
my
think that's your
sleeper
next
one.
women's champion. When
Yeah.
when Britt Baker finally drops the belt, it's gonna be to Jade Cargill.
You think she's next?
I think
I
that's
could
the
see that
plan.
happening.
It might take longer than that, and it could be somebody else, but eventually they're definitely putting the belt on
Yeah,
her.
for sure.
But yeah,
It was
we
a
don't need to
pretty
spend any
good
more time
showing
on that.
for a battle royal.
Yeah, I think after that was the Chris Jericho MJF match. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I'm looking at this. Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely was. Wait, what?
yeah. No,
CM
you're.
Punk and Darby Allin were early in.
Yeah, I think actually it might have been CM Punk or Darby Allin. It's definitely one of those two.
I think it was the CM Punk match, and then it was Jericho.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right. So let's talk about the CM Punk match. I mean,
dude.
pretty good match.
After 7 years, this dude has not lost a beat.
He looks the same. Of course, he's wearing tights now, so the legs probably aren't there like they used to be. But he was CM Punk. It was the same guy,
He's
and
the same
Darby
dude.
was the perfect guy to fight in your first match back, because Darby makes everybody look like $1,000,000.
Oh yeah.
Like CM Punk does a simple Irish whip into the turnbuckle, and
Yeah,
Darby Allin just goes,
he, like,
smacks his
died.
body off of the back of the turnbuckle and goes flying outside the ring. Like, he's the only guy who's gonna really do that for you.
Right. CM Punk, like you were saying, if anybody is a newer wrestling fan or just doesn't watch at all, anytime these guys get old, if they used to wear like short trunks before,
Yeah, they'll at least wear shorts.
they're
like
wearing,
MMA
like-
shorts.
they're wearing like long pants now.
Yeah. Like, you saw it. There was a Raw earlier this year where Triple H came back for one night to fight Randy.
Yeah.
It's when Alexa Bliss like blew fire in Randy's eyes.
Yeah.
Triple H was like completely clothed, and you know how Triple H used to wear just like tighty whities, and that's it.
Yeah, the legs aren't there anymore for CM Punk. Or maybe he's just working on them. He'll go
Right.
back to the trunks. But dude, great showing. It wasn't a crazy match
Yeah.
for me. I thought
It's what you thought it would be, though.
Yeah.
You really thought this is what you thought it would be, and I really liked the ending. I loved the reversals and all that shit at the end. I thought they
yeah.
did a great job.
I just felt like personally, even though it is his go-to. I felt like CM Punk was kind of reaching for the go to sleep a little bit too much in the match, and I wanted to see more in his arsenal. But then again, it's his first match back in 7 years. You want to take it easy, kind of get your feet wet, that type of stuff. But yeah, it was a solid match. There's not really anything to complain about with it. Darby did his job. He sold like $1 million like we thought he would for CM Punk.
And CM Punk gave him his shit too. Like, Darby is legit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Obviously, Darby wasn't going to beat CM Punk in Chicago. Like, Darby's kind of established as one of the up-and-coming young guys. He's going to be there forever.
Yeah.
Like I said, I really liked the ending, and when Sting came in, I was a little nervous that Sting was going to go heel.
Dude, I thought someone was going heel. They stood in the ring for so long. They just stood in the ring
for so long. I thought Sting was going to be like, you failed me, and just hit Darby with the death drop.
That would be kind of nice.
And then, like, yeah, did some shit to Punk or something. I don't know. But, yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. That's what it needed to be.
I was scared that they were going to do the opposite and have CM Punk, like, because there was one point he was standing like, behind
heel?
Sting.
No,
I thought they were going to, like, low blow Sting. I was like, what?
WWE would do that. WWE would do that.
They definitely would
They'd make you go heel in your hometown after your return.
Yeah, they would definitely do that. Oh, one thing I do have to mention, because I mentioned it to you last night on text.
Yeah.
You can tell CM Punk was at WWE for a while. That match, the pacing, felt like a WWE match.
It did.
The whole way through. Like, it was nice, slow, methodical. Let me put you in a headlock so I can get the next move out. Like, most of these AEW matches are like, bow, 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 bow.
Right.
Move after move. Yeah. This one was like, nah, we're gonna work this out.
That was a great point. Yeah, whether he likes it or not, like, he definitely became, like, WWE style type wrestling, even 7 years later.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, CM Punk won in this.
Good match, and it's great to see him back, and we'll see where he goes from here.
Absolutely. Next match, Chris Jericho versus MJF.
This was good.
It's one of MJF's best matches.
Yeah, MJF was like, "Oh, you guys thought I'm like The Miz? No, I can do some shit."
Right, pretty much.
He was pulling some shit out. The match was a little slow at first. I don't blame MJF. Jericho's an old man. But Jericho actually, it was still fun. Like, Jericho's moveset, doesn't matter how old he gets, like, even if he's going a little slower, it's really fun to just see him in the ring. I love the stuff he does.
The ending,
I just want to get to the ending. Yeah, the ending was cool. The ending was cool and funny, and it's like, I feel like people are going to bitch, like, oh, MJF lost. Why did you have MJF lose to a 50-year-old?
He won. He beat him three times in a row.
He beat him 3 times in a row, and he's MJF, and he's not undefeated. He's lost before.
Right.
He's not Goldberg. He's not what Asuka was in WWE. Like, he's not Miro. He's not that type of heel.
Right.
He's it's okay if he loses once in a while, and he lost in a really weird way too. So it's like, obviously he's going to have something to bitch about, but hopefully we can put this feud behind us.
Maybe. I feel like there might be.
I think they should move Sammy, and it should be MJF Sammy now or something. Like,
yeah.
I'm kind of where we've been done with this MJF Jericho feud, though I like it. Obviously, I love these guys. MJF is like the best in the business on the mic, and Jericho's Jericho. But it's time to move on, and I think this is a fine way to end it.
Yes, but because of how they ended it.
Yeah, you think there'll be another one?
There's going to be another match, right? Because MJF's going to complain. He's not going to be happy with that. He's like, I had Jericho pinned 1, 2, 3. And Jericho's like, my foot was on the rope. There's just too much controversy.
I was almost sure Jericho was going to lose because of the careful wording. He didn't say he's going to retire. He says he'll never wrestle in AEW again, which made me think, oh, he's going to go do something in Impact or something, or New Japan or whatever.
Right.
So they really had me thinking, like, okay, well, this isn't that big of a deal, so he's probably going to lose.
I was thinking he was just going to go straight to commentary.
Or that, yeah. Because I thought he'd do commentary on Friday nights and then be on TNA on Thursday nights or whatever. I don't watch TNA. whenever Impact is on.
TNA somewhere on at 3 a.m.
I was just gonna say, yeah. The what's his name?
Todd Grisham.
Yeah. It's on at 4 a.m. in Japan.
Yo, he's disrespectful for that. But this ending, all right. So basically, in the ending, which was also Oh my god, this could have been a WWE ending easily. But
This was totally WWE shit.
fucking, you have MJF, dastardly heel to Jericho. He cheats, does all this cheating stuff, and he hits Jericho with his own finisher, and Jericho gets pinned 1, 2, 3. But before the 3 count, his foot is on the rope, but the ref Aubrey Edwards doesn't see the foot, and she counts all the way to 3. And then the match is called. Everybody's like, boo, 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 because, MJF is deemed as the winner. And I'm like, at this moment, I'm like, wow, this is exactly how WWE would end something like this, on controversy.
Mm-hmm.
Then we switch over. Referee Paul Turner comes out of nowhere. He's like, Aubrey, listen, you missed something. I was watching in the back. Jericho's foot was on the rope.
Yeah, I love stuff like that because it gives the crowd a second wind. Like, you get a second burst of excitement when stuff like that happens.
In any other sport that you watch, you get that easy review the tape.
A review, yeah.
I feel like wrestling should have the same thing, and that was exactly what that was last night. Like, it makes no sense.
I mean, they use it when it's good for what they want to do.
Right.
Like,
but it makes no sense, like, how in WWE they'll just go with that controversial ending so you can have talk the next night.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, me as a fan, I'm like, is nobody else in the back seeing the bullshit? Like,
right.
that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So I love how AEW was just really logical about it and had the other ref come out there and be like, no, like, don't do that. Like,
yeah, and then they went on for another, like, minute. I thought MJF's going to argue with the ref. He's going to argue. He's going to turn around when the bell rings and get Judas effect. They didn't do that. He tapped, right?
He tapped to the
Which
walls
was
of Jericho.
cool. Because I knew the crowd was going to erupt when he gets put in the walls. Because it's a legendary move.
And Jericho rarely uses it.
Yeah, he really uses it. So it's really special, especially in AEW. So just seeing that live must have been insane. So people lost their minds. And it was cool.
Walls
it was nice
Jericho.
to send the crowd home happy. Only thing from that match is Jericho's entrance. There was no rhythm. There was no rhythm. That was a bad idea. The guitarist did his own thing. The crowd was doing their own thing.
They botched that entrance completely.
Yeah, I could tell. He thought he was gonna have another fucking. Yeah. The crowd's gonna sing along.
It's because that guitarist.
I know. I felt like he was
one
doing
part
his
of the
thing.
Verse.
Exactly.
And went straight to the hook. And the crowd was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
That made no sense.
It was a mess. I was so ready for the match to get started. Oh, also MJF's entrance was sick. The countdown, you think it's Jericho, and it's Jericho's last match.
He's such a dick, bro.
His theme music fits him perfectly, MJF.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, I'm a rich guy.
That was a fantastic match, though. Like Gabe had mentioned, MJF pulled out moves that he usually doesn't do. Remember him doing a springboard moonsault on the outside of the ring, which I've never seen him do ever in AEW before, and just doing all this other crazy stuff. He usually has slow matches. Like, if MJF was in WWE, he'd fit right in.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, I felt like he moved a little bit with the AEW crowd of wrestling everything.
I think he, like I said, a lot of people are going to be watching, so everybody, really tried to do their best.
Yeah, you could tell everybody put their A game out there last night.
So we can, I really don't.
Oh,
we don't need to cover
Paul White and
that was a match. That was like a fucking. That was a squash. It was over in a second, dude.
It's funny. I read a report this morning that they were
almost
thinking
scratched it. Yeah, I saw you share that. Yeah,
dude. If they cut out that match, I would have been fine. No one really wants to see Paul White, Big Show, whatever, in 2021. I don't even know why he's in AEW.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was a fun little match. It was a nice match to get me to cool down. I mean, I went and got food when it was on.
That's why you have matches like that for a cool down. But yeah, that's all we need to say about that. We don't need to say Let's get to the world championship.
All right, the world championship last night, and this is where all the big things happened. Kenny Omega, the AEW champion, versus Christian Cage, the Impact world champion.
This match was a little slow. Wasn't Kenny's best match. You say Christian's gas. I can't tell you you're wrong.
Yeah,
I felt like the first match was better though. The one they had on Rampage was way better than this. So I don't know what it was. It really wasn't about this match though.
Yeah, it was really about the end of the match. I mean, the match was pretty solid. It wasn't
decent,
bad.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, that's probably why people didn't want
The finisher
originally.
was cool though.
The
Top
finisher?
rope, top rope.
Oh
One
yeah,
winged
yeah.
angel was cool.
That was ridiculous. Kenny Omega doing a one wing angel from top rope is like
Yeah.
devastating.
And
as
just
fuck.
like I like the storytelling of like Christian has neck problems and he's repeatedly doing the butterfly suplex. What is it? Dragonfly suplex.
Yeah.
He's just repeatedly doing that move to Christian on his neck. I
Yeah.
like that storytelling. Kenny
Even
had
with
a
the
game
ending
plan.
too.
Yeah.
Like same thing. He's like, all right, I'm really gonna like just kill this guy.
Yeah. I don't really like Christian doing the spear because it's like
Thinks of Edge.
yeah, you just immediately think of Edge. Like you never did the spear before. Why are you
Right.
doing it now?
Edge's sidekick over
Yeah,
here.
you're
like-
not. It's not as good as Edge's spear. It's not as good as Goldberg's spear. It's just like, it's a spear. He's not really built like that to be doing a spear and being like, oh, that's devastating.
It's seeming like that's his like second finisher
It's
now,
his
or his
second finisher.
signature.
Yeah, it's
The-
because it takes forever to fucking do the unprettier.
That's why I don't like that move.
Yeah, it's
the kill
cool
switch,
when he finally
whatever.
hits it. It's cool, but
It's
know.
mad setup. Like,
but it's cool. What I like about that move is it's easily like you can do a lot of like cool reversal spots with that.
true.
Like Randy Orton when he RKO'd him that time in like 04. Anyways, yeah.
Christian
Decent
Cage,
match.
Kenny Omega, decent match. They had some cool table spots, even though a table would usually get you a DQ because the stuff was kind of outside the ring and all that, and there was like accidentals. They didn't really like get DQ'd or whatever. The ref let it go, but those spots were cool. It was just basic wrestling. It wasn't anything like super jump out of my seat. It was just a solid title match. What happens after the match is really what everybody is talking about. So at the end of the match, you got Christian Cage just lost, and Kenny's boys are all coming
The
down,
elites in the ring.
jumping Christian
cheering.
Cage.
It was very New Japan where it's like, normally, if this was to happen in WWE or something, I'd totally expect somebody to come out.
Right.
And I was expecting somebody to come out, but you're still not sure. Because in New Japan, they'll have, the winner will just give a speech at the end. Which is kind of like what Kenny's style is. So he's doing his Kenny shtick. Cuts a pretty good heel promo, like, what the fuck you thought this was? You know who I am. Like,
Right.
I'm the... And when he's like, nobody can beat me here. And if they could, they're somewhere else.
Or they're dead.
Or they're dead. And the lights go out. And like, what? Like,
Okay,
The Undertaker for like a second. I'm like,
At this point,
because he says dead and then the lights go out.
that would have been crazy.
I don't know, right? It wouldn't make any sense.
Could have been Bray Wyatt too. It could have been a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I feel like most people, because of what we already knew was coming, thought, okay, Daniel Bryan's coming right here.
Yeah.
But then
The yes chants were starting while he was on the mic.
Right.
Yeah.
You get an entrance from somebody whose contract just ended literally like a couple days before this event. It was kind of floating around in the rumor mill,
Yeah,
but
he's
like,
still on the WWE page as an NXT talent.
which is freaking crazy. But Adam Cole walks out.
Yeah, massive pop.
Huge pop from the crowd.
Yeah.
They're going wild. Everybody's thinking, oh shit, Adam Cole
He's about to take out Kenny.
After they did him dirty years ago, they kicked him out the Bullet Club and all that. You think Adam Cole's gonna get his revenge? No. Instead,
Yeah, he joins them. Yeah.
Super kicks the shit out of Jungle Boy, who came in earlier to help Christian.
Yeah.
Super kicks him, and then he's like, yeah, I'm with my boys. I don't know what y'all thought this was. And then you get the lights going out. Actually, no, you don't get the lights going out. Instead, you get theme music that hits right at that moment.
Yeah.
And then Bryan Danielson, formerly known as Daniel Bryan,
Yeah.
comes out, and he's like, yeah, I'm about to take you motherfuckers out.
And obviously, we just saw him at Mania. We know he can still go.
Right.
We know we're about to get like classic matches out the yin yang. Also, I love the Brit Baker did Panama Sunrise earlier on. That was a nice little teaser for Adam Cole's return.
I didn't think he was gonna come out that night though. So the fact that she did that,
I like, and people are probably gonna be upset that, well, if you want to be upset, you can make yourself upset about this. You shouldn't be. Like, that was fucking amazing. But, they like blew their whole load in one night. Like, they just gave you all the returns.
they usually don't though.
They usually don't, and this was
All
a
their eggs in one
legendary
basket.
pay-per-view that you will never forget because of what you just saw. So that's more meaningful than, oh, we're going to have Daniel Bryan debut in like New York in a month or something.
Right. Like, this was one of the first few times ever. I don't even know if it's happened before in history, but a double debut, and it was done so well. Where
I
you
know,
have,
they didn't miss a beat.
you have one guy that impromptu comes in, who's a big star in Adam Cole, and you think, okay, well, I'm not getting Daniel tonight, but shit, I got Adam Cole. This is great for me. He's gonna go against Kenny, and then he swerves on you.
Yeah.
And he joins Kenny, and then you have Daniel Bryan come right after that. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, I can't take it. I'm losing my mind.
Absolutely lost my mind. I feel like everybody did. That picture was going around of Randy during the South Park episode with semen all over him. That was really everybody.
Yeah.
It was just, I can't remember losing my mind that much at a wrestling show.
Yeah, dude. That was fantastic. That was the perfect way to do it. I know they worked on quick time with that, but
Yeah, it was definitely like spur of the moment because Adam Cole just like figured his shit out, but
they still did it.
Yeah, it was
great.
perfect.
Like,
I have no complaints about any of that.
all the pieces just fit together.
And just seeing
right.
Kenny do his not Kenny, Daniel do his moves.
Oh, yeah.
That was so cool.
Dude,
we're really gonna get Daniel versus Kenny, and I'm so happy because that's really a dream.
you're gonna get a lot of matches. You're probably gonna get CM Punk and Daniel teaming sometimes.
Yeah.
You might get Adam Cole versus CM Punk, Adam Cole versus the Jungle Boy, Daniel Bryan versus I don't know anyone at this point. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, the landscape is definitely shifted since last night. I even told you in text. I said, dude, like, I've been going back and forth with WWE and AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, I don't care about the war stuff. You like what you like. It's kind of apples and oranges at this point. But at this point, I can't watch WWE when all this great shit is happening at AEW.
And I always said, even before AEW existed, WWE is how I think they had a really good year in like 2017. But
2017, 2016.
Yeah, those were really fun. It looked like they were really
getting back on their
and doing stuff for the future, and they completely threw that out the window this year. However,
yeah.
I always said once Undertaker retires, like, it's just not gonna be the same for me, and that's true. Even though like he wasn't really retired, it's like Undertaker, ever since he hasn't been that big of a deal and hasn't been putting on like 5-star matches at WrestleMania. WrestleMania hasn't felt the same. Nothing has felt the same in WWE. Roman, I think they've done a great job with him. However,
that's all they care about.
That's all there's really been. You got Drew McIntyre doing dumb show for Sword, and then you go over to AEW. I'm saying anybody who has watched wrestling in the past like 5 years, who has like been a consistent fan, if they stopped watching anytime,
this is the
past decade, this is the product they're gonna go to. The only people that are gonna want to watch WWE over AEW at this point are people who missed all of CM Punk being CM Punk and missed Daniel Bryan being Daniel Bryan.
Right.
Like, those are people who haven't watched wrestling in a very long time.
Right.
That's WWE's audience right now, like 50-year-olds with their children.
Pretty much.
Who don't even know that AEW exists.
Right.
Because I don't understand how you can't... This is not even an alternative anymore. This is what you should be watching.
Yeah.
It's just a better show. They're better at it. And they're young. They're just getting better. Like, all of the nicks in all of the critiques I've had of them over the years, AEW, it's like those were growing pains and they are fixing them.
Oh, absolutely.
And the roster's growing. Also, WWE just wants under 30 formal football players now. They only want you if you're over like 6'3". They don't want any quote unquote midgets. So now all of like the studs on the indies are just gonna come over to AEW.
Yeah, they changed their whole mindset.
Yeah.
They used to be like this back in the day. They kind of had like this factory thing going on where they had their own developmental system and they would build guys that weren't like indie stars. Like, and for anybody listening, indie, like, short for independent wrestlers that aren't in the big leagues or anything like that. They just built people straight in the WWE system, and they're going back to that. They want these tall dudes under 30. You didn't work in the independents. You never done wrestling before. We're building you homegrown and tall and all
Yeah.
this other stuff.
They don't want you to have a mind of your own. They don't want you to know that there's alternatives, all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vince just, I feel like, oh, NXT isn't my baby, so it can't exist anymore. This is all mine, and he
Yeah.
cares more about his own ego than the fan. Like, this completely proves that they literally don't give a shit.
It was already like
I
thought
know.
about for years, but now it's like
Yeah,
definitive.
it's like, dude. Anyways, yeah, you don't have to watch that shit anymore because like stuff like this exists. And like we said, we did a podcast before this. It only lasted like 5 minutes. We had technical difficulties. What we mentioned is not just this pay per view, not even just the standalone pay per view is this amazing. It gets you super excited for Wednesday night Dynamite because not only do we have the Daniel Bryan Adam Cole shit that we have to look forward to, but we have a Malachi Black match. We have fallout from Andrade stuff. We have Dustin Rhodes. Oh, Dustin Rhodes is fighting Malachi Black.
Yeah.
What's the other? Oh, yeah, we have Suzuki versus
Moxley.
Moxley. Like, it's not just good shit that happens on pay-per-views.
They set up more shows.
It's made for TV too. Like, they want good ratings, so they're gonna have good shows. It's not just build up to a pay-per-view.
Yeah. You can't even say it any better than that. It's just this is not the alternative anymore. If you're not watching AEW and you were a wrestling fan throughout all these years, or you haven't watched wrestling since like 2012 or something, or you haven't watched it since you were a little kid, AEW is the perfect product to watch now.
Yeah.
Especially for young adults like us, 20 and up, 18 and up, whatever. Like, it's a cool product. Even if you don't like wrestling, I feel like you can fall in love with wrestling.
Yeah.
Watching AEW.
Now's the time to start too, because it feels like this is a new era of AEW.
Yeah,
we kind of watched
shifted.
we kind of watched like the early days, like, you know, before Christ type deal. Like, we kind of just read the Old Testament, and now we're gonna get the New Testament with AEW. And speaking of like Malachi Black and Andrade, it was cool that of course they're not featured on the card, but they still gave them time. And Malachi Black cuts a cool promo. Andrade gets you excited for the Pac match, which, like, you know, we can talk about that another time. Pac kind of seems like a clown with some of that shit.
Yeah.
But in real life, there's always shit I'm hearing about him. Anyways, overall, dude, really, like, 5 out of 5. If you want to go star rating, 5 out of 5 pay-per-view.
I agree.
7. If they gave that Kenny Okada match at Dominion 7 stars, I'll give this pay-per-view 7 stars.
Dude, the match was not the match. The pay-per-view was like pretty much perfect, top to bottom. Like, I heard people talking about, oh, SummerSlam was fantastic.
I don't know.
There's no way you watched last night, and still think SummerSlam was fantastic.
Nobody who watches both could think that AEW is the lesser product.
Yeah,
There's
no way.
No, anybody who's shits on AEW, and I can say this because you can say this, we watch both products. We still give WWE a chance every single time. We've given them chance after chance. We are in the position to say that they put out garbage 70% of the time, mid stuff 20% of the time, and then it's good like 10% of the time.
Right.
We can say that because we watch both.
Right.
The people who shit on AEW are people who are not watching it.
Yeah, they're just
so your opinion is not valid on it.
Carrying the WWE flag for some reason.
Like they're getting paid by them or something.
Right.
Like, literally, we're not on AEW's payroll or nothing. We're just here to, like, say what's good and what's not. Anyways, yeah.
Wait, 3 minutes here. You wanna?
Amazing promo. Yeah, we can wrap it up.
All right. Well, I mean, it was always a pleasure, being on your show here.
Oh yeah.
I think we need to chit chat a little bit. Maybe do some shows together.
Yeah, well, definitely, like, this with the YouTube channel starting and everything else, like, there's definitely, similar to AEW, this is still, like, a growing thing that we're trying to figure out here. So we're definitely going to have more wrestling talk because there's a lot to talk about.
There definitely is.
There's a lot to talk about every single week.
But I'm happy with last night. Again, last night was fantastic. Thank you for having me on the show again. And hopefully we can talk more if you guys do enjoy listening to what we have to say about wrestling, or like if you're just starting to get back into it and you want to hear some pretty good opinion about it, you could always just come back here, and I'll be happy to come back on again. And yeah, pretty much.
Excellent. All right, thanks for coming, Seb, and everybody stay tuned for more content we have coming up on the channel. See you later.